Hey, all good people, here we go. Short distance out from my drive. If this is the first you watched of these, did one on Reset Sniper, Odyssey channel. Goats! Yeah, goats! Now that's a pair of ballas to be proud of. Anyway, apart from admiring goats' testicles, let's take you on a ride. Talk about stuff. This is an e-bike, so don't be impressed by any speed I put on. But it's a fun way to get exercise. It's a Cube HPC or SLT HPC stereo. If that means anything to anybody, you've got to be a bit of a geek. I'm a amateur, but it's got a Bluetooth seat and gears. Explain that one to me, why it's needed. Anyway, it's fun and it works. But the battery keeps speed up, which I love. Then the scenery changes a bit, at least at a decent pace. For someone in need of fitness, like me. Anyway, what we're talking about? Crypto Sniper, let's do Crypto Sniper. What the fuck? Crypto Sniper. So, Bitcoin, in my esteemed opinion, and the crypto market is about to resume a second stage upside. Second half, as I call it. We've just had first half oranges, as I called it, half time. Now we've been saying this for a bit, and we said it could extend for a while. What's different now? There's some differences now. There's a reason why I'm reasserting something you've already heard before, if you watch this channel. You can hear me gasping already. A cold start. It takes a while to warm up. And the reason is this. Bitcoin at that 30,000 level has been making a falling wedge, like I just sat down there. Do you see that? I love that. You just get cut down to size. That's the drop the seat button, which I use when you go on downhills, so that you can get behind the bike. And also you can maneuver it around a bit. Oh, let's have that seat back. Put that lazy ass back down. Up it pops. So anyway, falling wedge. Inside that falling wedge, the initial plunge that made our head and shoulders call, get into stablecoin call, which, as I said, I still could have executed personally better on that, but it was a good call. You fell from the right shoulder, 59k, down to sub 30, which made the target pretty violently and suddenly. Then you had a snapback and a second test that took out the low, which is both bad and actually long-term good. It was bad because it's hard to trade when you're making a new lows, and we'd already stopped active, aggressive trading. We're mainly in collateral, and it tests your bottle when a market is making a new low. Just stand up and pump a bit. Battery can't do it all. Drop a cog, drop another. Yeah, that's better. So that, but in the longer term, if you don't follow through, that marginally lower low is like a stake in the ground for bottoming. Someone firing a shotgun. It's hunting season, yeah? Pheasants, rabbits. Now puffing a bit today. Yeah, so the subsequent rally there was not as big, not as violent. Volatility was dropping, didn't rally as high, and we rolled over for a third time recently. Again, we traded sub 30k. Again, the support showed up, and now we're bouncing off of that. And the key part of that, show you some of the countryside. Even put the bike down, you can have a look at the bike. That's my beating heart, the real power. Let's take a stroller. Kite surfs are out down there. Maybe one of these days I'll take you for a ride there when they're out. Very rustic and boho little place, back of a van. When I say a van, I mean one without an engine, that's static there, that they make burgers out of. Sort of reeds, roof of cardboard and beers while you come in for a pit stop when you're kite surfing. Someone getting his jollies firing shotguns over here, over that side. Let's hope we don't come in for some pepper shot. Anyway, so the rollover and the third gave us the falling wedge that I've been sharing on Twitter that I suggested would break to the upside. Now I want to tell you, everyone is against us on this bull call. I want to remind you of that. Richard Hart, Peter Brunt, all of these guys. Richard thinks it's going to 10k, and there's nothing wrong with having different opinions, and that doesn't make whatever happens next anybody an idiot. Neither myself nor the people I've mentioned, but most people very bearish. Sentiment was as low as 10, still sub 25. It's in extreme fear, and we're saying no more. We think second half is about to kick off. We're heavily in Ethereum, so I'm actually not Bitcoin holding. So Bitcoin is direction, guys. Let's ride on. Got a bit of a downhill here, a bit of a downhill challenge, and gets a bit slaty. So I might get low. You hear that? That was Ballas on the wheel. Okay. Quite a descent here. Concentration time, boy. We seem to have negotiated that okay. Back up on the seat. Final dip. Just don't want to hit the rocks. There are occasionally cars, yeah, so I'll hold it out wide. Anyway, yep, so falling wedge. We broke out of it. Innocuously. No one's talking about it. Everyone just thinks more doldrums. 29 to 32.5, 33, 34k blues for Bitcoin. But it's different this time. That thing we've been talking about is drawing nearer. Why? Because the volatility is down a whole bunch. Volatility has been dropping, and that had to die for us not to see further downside. It's not a guarantee, but reducing volatility is inherently, more often than not, bullish, unless in the process of doing so You set up bear structure like an inverted HVF. That hasn't happened. You set up a falling wedge, which actually shows that you've been making marginally lower lows, and there's tactical buyers that are retreating but still coming up and buying when they get a better price. I'm hopefully inspiring some of you to get out and ride. I'm like a control structure. There's an agenda. I have a programming, mind control agenda. Look at that dirty mask on the road. All that fucking unnecessary garbage, waste, dirt. I hate seeing these blue masks. Kind of like the UK, where you'll see unchecked tests thrown into dump trucks. Anyway, before I stray into reset territory, get out, get active, get fit. You need your mental psychology like you've never needed it before. Whoops, a bit wide today. Still sitting on my perch. It's not a good handling situation to be sitting high up and taking a bend. You're best in the pedals, because you keep your center of gravity real low if you're standing on the pedals. So this time we'll do it better. I'm so good at the theory, I'm pretty cuck at the practice. I shit myself in corners on my bike. The equipment's invariably much better at coping than I am. The fear of falling off. We're all managed by fear. And I have more fear of falling off a bike and a bicycle than I do of the control structure, amazingly. Other people are brave in other areas and fearful of this all dominant force. Maybe I should be a lot more fearful. I don't know. Anyway, back to Bitcoin. Down on the seat. Let's go wide here. We're turning right. So Bitcoin is direction, I was saying. And the BTC boss, the god, is proving once again that their buyers sub 30k. 29, it gets bought right back up. And that volatility that's been in existence is coming down. See that road up there? I'm gonna have to pedal up that. Let's wait till we round the bend. We're gonna climb back up that plateau. See that dirt road? That's my Tour de France, what's that epic stage where they all shit themselves climbing the hill. Only I do it with a battery. And no fans on the side there cheering me on. It's not quite the same, is it? Anyway, so Bitcoin's direction, but my holding is ETH. I'm keeping it simple. Sure, some other tokens are going to come running up and do a little bit quicker than ETH, and I will spread a bit around, but in the beginning I want to be the biggest alt. The falling wedge is broken on Ethereum too, after Bitcoin has permissioned that to happen, and it's gone up more. And actually, as I was looking yesterday, 7-day performance and 24-hour performance, Ethereum's actually beaten the whole top 10. Yeah, you can go into, I think number 22 was one that went the same or marginally higher. Have a smaller holding of uni compared to the percentage in my Ethereum, and uni's also doing great, but it hadn't beaten Ethereum. But I think in time it will, and we'll spread it about once the bull run is more confirmed. Early on, big is right. The bigs move first, then you'll get a few streakers. I'm sure Ada will come back into the game. I'm sure a bit of hype and hopium news flow will start to come out. Sure, quite a few. Solana, that looked good but actually softened a bit, underperformed Ethereum recently. I think it'll come back, and a number of others. My big risk play, which is not advised to anybody because I have a high risk profile, is actually bull, which is 3x ETH. That has come down from 30,000 to at 1.300. Look at that chart, and that's a flattening. Again, not advice. I just think if you get impulsive moves on Ethereum coming, not immediately, but growing, it could reach 30k again. You could have bought for 300 at one point. Long run, leverage tokens aren't your friend. If you're expecting a growing bull with a blow off, and you're prepared to get out at the blow off point and take off a couple of times, you could potentially do very well. But it adjusts for size. So when it's going up, it buys more. So actually you do slightly more than a 3x, but when it goes down, it sells into the downtrend to keep the sizing right. So it falls much harder as well. Long run, as it stabilizes, the pullbacks will do more damage than the pumps. So it's not an investment, but it's a potential to the end of the year, or November, October, 3-month hodl. If your call on half-time oranges is right. For most of you, Ethereum, just holding Ethereum will do just fine. If we're right. Can it still go down? It's still a chance. Whilst we're claiming some short-term successes here in terms of moving towards where we're going, still possible. But falling wedges are broken on both Bitcoin and Ethereum, clearly. You can get a return move on those, so it doesn't mean you have to panic buy. Never listen to a YouTube, hear an opinion. I'm an indicator. To you guys, I should be nothing more than an indicator. Sometimes wrong, sometimes right. Try to determine which one is which, on which occasion. Consider it with anything else. Do rational thought of your own. Weigh up the arguments. I had everyone saying, I'm in bull bias. ETH is actually a descending triangle. No, it isn't. The second low was lower than the other low. And the third low bounced in the funnel like the second low did of a previous upside. And the candle bodies were hanging heavier and heavier in each impulse. So inside that falling wedge, there was a resetting to the downside. Throw volume by price on it. A descending triangle should have all the volume along the floor, the bottom third. In other words, you're knocking on the floor looking for the trapdoor. Not the case on Bitcoin or Ethereum. So I reject that. People want to say I'm in bull bias mode and I'm seeing whatever I want in the charts. No, I don't. Can justify it rationally every time with technical analysis. And can I get in bull bias? Yes, I could. They're right to check me for it. I'm not angry. They're not idiots for questioning it, but I've given a suitable reason. More than one. Not supported by volume by price. There is an aggregate adjustment to the downside in the falling wedge at a candle bodies level, and at the wicks level, the first low wasn't the final low, which it should be on a descending triangle, equal to or the final low. If you're getting some sag later, that's hammering out a bottom, and you have a marginally lower low. These are subtle differences that make a huge difference in the big game. Cell phone master head, huffing and puffing on the uphills. despite only doing about 30% of the work. We're doing a bit of a climb. I'll show you which plateau we came down from and which hill we've now climbed when we get to the top. The planet's about to end, guys. If we don't stop eating meat, stop traveling, stop driving diesel cars immediately, don't mind a few billionaires burning up space rocket ton loads of jet fuel to have little jaunts and skips into space. Don't mind them, that you all funded their monopolies that they were given by the Rockefeller Society. Don't mind those guys burning a few quadrillion Olympic swimming pools of jet fuel. They're allowed. My suspicion is they're probably running up a bit of military industrial complex hardware into orbit and getting paid for it. Equipment used to manage you, satellites and other things. So yeah, we'll take you up a bit. We'll come back down here, but let's just show you the topography. It's not a bad spot. Not sure I need to go too much further. That dirt road up there to that other plateau is from whence we came, and we will climb it. We cycled across the top of that plateau, went down the other side, came round, back, up, climbed this road here, and this is where you find us now. It's hot here, let me tell you. Sweat is running down the sunglasses. Pick up a few cogs. We're going to hit a bit of downhill now. Drop the seat. Go down this side. Gets pretty steep and pretty rough as well. Here's where the bees hang out, by the way. I'll show you this before we head on back down. They're not here at the moment. Normally hives, you can see one or two. You can see the pallets where they sit. Seems to be one hive out here. Yeah, these would be your desert bees. Man, it's hot here. Good luck to them. Baking up here. There's a couple of these on a number of the places on the way down. This gets a bit steep if I remember correctly. It's a sharp bend to take when you're carrying some speed. This is another spot where there's sometimes hives. So back to crypto. I mean, it's my primary hold right now. Not because I think they're good guys. It's because I think they're going to be the Google of the crypto market. Your property will be listed on the Ethereum blockchain, possibly a few other rivals as well, that are all competing to own that space. ETH will give up some market share, but this is where the big growth will be. I was looking at an ETH dominance chart. Binance chain suddenly came out of nowhere and grabbed quite a bit. But Binance ain't flavor of the month right now. the exchange anyway. I think his best investment will turn out the chain. So a bit of a tarmac here. Take you to the seaside. So F dominance, yes, Binance took a bite, but you'll have the others, Solana, ADA should start with its smart contracts at some point soon. Hex might battle a little when F gets super strong, but Hex has done unbelievably. I wanted to go down that road just to see what the fuck goes on there. Let's explore a little bit. I think it's someone's house in his driveway. There's no harm to take a look anyway. I'm curious about this side of the hill, and I'm always curious to see what kind of homes are here. Might need to drop a few cogs again, see what the lie of the land is. Yeah, should have dropped the seat. Can do it now. Oh, too high a gear. Oh, it's tough when you drop a cog. That's interesting. Where does this take us? This is a steep hill. It's going to be fun to come down. Yep, there's these olive trees. Not sure I'm going to go much further than that. Not today. Haven't got the gas. Got the battery, but even my fitness level's not quite up to it. Let's make a nice path though. Huff, huff, pant, pant. I like the pine trees and the pine needles. Let's have a look at his house. What goes on here? He asks. It's interesting. One of his growing hashish in that place. Maybe we could score. Springboks playing the British and Irish Lions. Come on, Boks. They don't respect us. Gatland is a little crybaby, screaming about the TMO being South African, wanting red card for Faf. It's going to be a good one tonight. Give me battery power, baby. My superpower is a battery. Yeah. Fucking Sheryl Sandberg of Facebook and all of these little superpower transhumanist fucking bitch fucks. Anyway, getting a bit excited there. Must be about the Springboks clattering into the Lions today. We've got a transformation prop who's going to shed tons of penalties. Trevor Nyakane. Oh dear, oh dear. One day we'll be able to fight without having one arm tied behind our back. We've got Yankees on the bench when we've got Mornay Steyn and Huissen as fly-half backup for Pollard, who's coming back from injury. Anyway, half of you won't know what I'm talking about, so I'll get back to crypto. Just would be nice to just field your strongest team you have. Look at those boats. Look at that view. Come on, guys. Instagram models. Looking good, sweetie. You're looking good. Sugar pie. Do a little testicle tickling. Oh, he handles well, actually, for a knobbly tires. Do you know I'm here? Hello. Sweet sugar dumplings. Yep, tourism side, Columbia Hotel that is. Nice hotel. We did our event there. Guys loved it. Let's go around this guy. Whoops, he's gonna cut us up, it seems. Drop that seat. Elevator down. Whoop. Yeah, buddy. Ain't nothing but a peanut. We are now beachside. All naked women may make themselves available from here on. Any good ones, guys? Hit me up. Don't let me miss anything. It's testosterone season. Hello, you holiday makers. Hey, mate. Hello, my lovelies. No topless titties today. Oh, such bad sports. Anyway, back to crypto. Oh, such a difficult job staying focused on matters at hand. Might have to go off here. Where that wasn't successful. Get past the crowds. That's how you tan this part of the world. Deep brown. Let's go around these people if we can. Around him if we can. Jet skis, windsurf, you name it. These guys have got it for you. That was bumpy. So here we are. Stop in the shade for a bit. This is my outdoor gym. My high membership executive club. Downsides are you breathe fresh sea air while you work out, and you look at what the world has to offer you here on the beach. So Eth is a bull, he says, really early. The problem here is sentiment is so bad. Sentiment is so bad, and that's so good for us. It's a problem for retail because they will be late. They will be late. They're always late. They will pump your bags if you're early. Now, when you be early, you run risks. You might have 3 wrong trades first, and you're right the 4th or the 5th time. But if you have tight stops, by the time everyone else realizes what's happening, you've already paid for your 4 bad entries, and you got 50% on top of that. That's the game. Which yacht is yours, I ask you? Big, medium, and small. And then there's the jet ski. And then that's my slide over there in the yellow and green. I'm gonna go have a slide. Oh, yeah. You're killing me, Francis. These bad jokes. I know. Get some exercise, guys. Crypto season will be back. And it will be back with a boom. And then it's going to be all the screens. You shouldn't be watching too much. Most of your money should be made on your blue pot. A little bit of booster money in your orange pot, which is very mild leverage. And very rare, highly exclusive hot pot trades where you can put in a tight risk, a really tight risk, with a highly expensive reward. Hey fellas, see this? My predecessor didn't wipe his seat. It's a crying shame. It's that kind of a club, I'm afraid. It's not quite 5-star. In fact, the only thing you pay is in sweat. A little bit of pushing to loosen up those shoulders. So, Ethereum. Ethereum is the pick for me to start. That doesn't mean your favorite project is going to do shit and won't start accelerating beyond Ethereum. It's the start. I've also got some ETH-Bull. But I think this is when institutions start realizing it's not all about store value and alternatives to dollar for money. It's about the tech. NFTs is helping that. And no matter what you say about Ethereum, Ethereum is the front runner. it's going to give up market share all the way through this, just like Bitcoin has been giving up market share to Ethereum. And we will have a go at picking the next winners out of that. But it's where I start. Some F-Bull tokens, because I'm high risk, non-recommendation. They can go to $1 or even cents if we were to spill again. It would mean I'd lose about 99.9% of everything. So that which I put at risk there, I've put at risk. But it's not a trading position, it's going to be a hodl. If we get the second half bull market and a blow off, you'll be hearing from me, I'm sure. If I lose a bundle, you'll be hearing a lot less, but I'll probably confess quietly at one point, because that's human nature. So long may we stay humble. Oh, a little bit of burn there. So I'll pause here, do a little bit of pushing and pulling, and maybe we'll do a few more minutes on the way back, and I'll sign off with my summary of what I think about crypto markets and how you should be playing it. But there's a reset theme in all of this. Get your mind right for a crazy parallel universe of non-rationality, of fake facts, fake truths, and many other things. Build your wealth. You need to be a rich slave to buy some privileges back, to buy some no-vax passports, maybe, if such a thing ever exists, to buy shares in traveling by jet, where there's far more leniency on various aspects about your biology. On that note, I say goodbye for now. Are we back? I think we are. Did a very short workout. Not the most exciting thing for you guys to watch in my outdoor club. I'm kind of funny as a person. Thanks to crypto and trading, I do have more than a 7-digit net worth, but I just won't waste money on a gym membership. Why? Because I'm training with weights and pushing barely twice a week. I maybe get 5 visits in a month. And I actually had a membership to the Columbia's Club, and I didn't go often enough, and I hate that. So I'm kind of tight. I need to punish myself into using something and proving that I'll continue to use it before I'll start paying for it. The day I'm coming to my free gym on the beach 7 times in a month, I'll go get myself a gym membership again. Till then, and consistently for a couple of months. Till then, I refuse to waste money. I don't know, it's a pattern of thought. I hate waste, I like efficiency. We talk about efficiency a lot in HVF. Time stops are about efficiency. You must get in close to just before the big moves happen, and you must get out close to when they're about to end. I think I'll come watch over here. So let's go take on my heel and get my heart surge. The key thing about health and fitness is to get the biggest bang for your buck. Inherently, I'm lazy in everything I do. I want extreme efficiency. I want to get the job done to as high a quality as possible with as little effort as possible. If you've decided you need to reduce fat percentage, HIIT, high intensity interval training, is it. Less time, more effort and agony in a shorter time, and then you're done. And you get much bigger impact on the fat percentage loss. This involves pushing your heart and lung rate really, really high. And it's the same for trading. Most of the time, you should not be training. You should not be training or trading. Your training should be short and exceedingly effective and highly intense with short intervals. Your training should be very rare, hence the sniper analogy. Snipers don't shoot. That's why they don't miss near as much. They only shoot if they're sure of a hit. That's why snipers fire 1.3 rounds for every casualty. An infantryman in World War II fired 250,000. And with automatic weapons in Vietnam, Americans fired 450,000 rounds per every casualty. That means 449,999 rounds, basically, give or take. It's a rounding error. Were wasted entirely. Lead thrown into the jungle, into the trees. How's that for green? Our Rockefeller society that loves a bit of war, a bit of petrol sales, a bit of oil sales, and a bit of dead bodies and a bit of lending money to governments for a military industrial complex which can both kill other people's citizens and their government kill yours. A marvelous little piece of mutual benefit, you know, a bit of reducing the herd of sexually active males. You know, they don't draft the 60-year-olds and say, hey bud, you've had a good innings, yeah, sit on this wall and guard the watchtower. No, it's the young bucks that haven't yet worked out the rules of the world, looking to be machismo and big deals, that get conned into that game. Paid a pittance, take all the risk. Anyway, digressing from crypto, but trading should be exceedingly efficient. Investment is different. Investment, if you're jumping in and out and you miss the 10 best days in the year, you can half your return. There's a huge difference between blue pot investment. I'm still in Ethereum. I mean, since the Head and Shoulder performed, I've been sitting in blue pot collateral. Because I can't afford to be out in case some of those 10 of the best days occur to the upside. And that means I've been drawn down and I've been drawn back up the whole way. Most of it mid-lower 30Ks put back on after getting into stable coin on the right shoulder, on the second rising wedge, and Head and Shoulder at the 47.5 revealing itself, neckline. But we faced a real slap down. That Head and Shoulder performed super quick. That is time efficiency. That's if you're a sniper. I didn't take the shorts. Now, of course, I regret not taking the shorts, but I'm a macro bull, so I thought, okay, I'll just not take wear the downside. Didn't execute perfectly. Hung on to some ripple, and I took a big position in them because of the court case, and just wore unnecessary loss on my own call. So what you see and what you call and what you actually execute, there's often a credibility gap there. But the calls were good. But I got out of everything else. And I held quite a lot of different tokens then. I was in Binance, we were in Theta, we were in Ethereum. So yeah, you got to forgive yourself for imperfect, but we did a lot right. But it wasn't perfect. Here, my ball break hill is going to loom large now. And you're going to listen to me huff and puff a bit here. So trading, when you're using leverage, particularly hot pot leverage, it should be exceedingly unique event with a hard stop, hard targets where you close the trade, and high risk to reward ratio. And you want it to overperform and do it in short time, because you're at higher risk just by being out in the war zone. You have higher risk. Anything could happen that you don't know. Time to drop a few cogs. Got to find the hard line, because otherwise back wheel skids in this one. It's a nice steepy. Hyperventilate. Dropping cogs like a oh, I was going to say something dirty there. I'll stop.
My superpower is my battery. You can get a transhumanist arm with a chip and a battery in your ass. You can just be more awesome than your friends. Come to Elon Musk's Neuralink spare parts, Inc. No, thank you. So trading is about efficiency, just like training. I want to get as much fat burn as in shorter time as possible. Plus I want to enjoy it. I like off-roading generally, even though I'm shit at it. I like to see nature. I like dirt paths more than tarmac. I like suspension, handling, changing scenery, sea, bush. I end up having a workout like now without even realizing it. And now I'm recording this to you. I'm getting some weekend content together to talk to you about my thoughts, give you an idea about how you should live to keep fit and strong, whilst actually getting fitter and stronger myself, and saying don't forget to go to themarketsniper.com if you want to become part of an awesome community hell-bent on maximizing the second half of the crypto bull, if we are fortunate enough to be proven accurate. By the way, this is a news flash I should have warned you was coming and told you to stay to watch the whole video to get. Major news flash. Whew. Climb back on the plateau. Major news flash coming up. Further bullish comment that you haven't heard yet. So what is it? You got to give me 5 seconds to grab a breath. Whew. The big news is the commitment of traders indicator is very close on the signal side. And if you haven't got this, by the way, it's entirely free, no emails required. We want nothing of you at all. Go use it. It's totally free. Go to the Crypto Sniper on TradingView, look for the Crypto Sniper, go to the profile, go to scripts and add it as a favorite indicator. That indicator is close to giving the second buy. Very close. Not now, listen, you can be close and it can be no cigar, but it's been pinching and pinching. And I suggested when the first early long came out after the Head and Shoulders smashed down to its target that it was a bit preemptive because of the violence of the downside volatility. So it's false started a bit out the blocks, so it's kind of early. It's not wrong, it's early. Too many people being too early is wrong. In this instance, we've had it before on the short side on the Echo Bull of 2019. It called a sell the 1 week, and then it called a second sell the following week as well, and then it's sold off. So the first one was 2 weeks early, the other one was in the week that it sold off. And this can be caused by very, very violent moves where there's big changes in the 4 largest bulls and bears. Actually, the way that data is being collated by the COTS, it's not actually clearly cut that it's the biggest 4 largest bulls and bears. As long as they're consistent with the data, how it's collected, the signal is fine. Go collect it. We are very close to our 5 triggering point for the next signal. We're at about 8.3. Normally it's at 20, 30 and 40. So we are pinching. Look at the fingers pinching. The largest sellers at the top and the largest buyers are getting closer and closer. And they've consistently done this throughout this continuation pattern. So next Friday, or this Friday coming, so we're the weekend now, we'll get a new data plot. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if we get triggered a second. And there's one small difference with this next signal that will be different to the previous signal. The volatility has crushed right down. The volatility has come right down. And where the first one was a long, was a signal long. The next one, if it comes, and we're talking hypothetically forward casting, I always like to look forward as well as acknowledge, and that means there's always a chance that it doesn't occur. The next one will be on low volatility, and that will make it a super long. The lower volatility signal is a far more significant long-term holding buy signal. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're waiting for. Should we jump off the edge here into the big blue? Let's leave you with this image. Naked beaches down here, and around that corner you'll get curious looking guys that all make eyes at you if you're a laddo and you go down there. They want to know if you want to hook up for a little bit of party time. The girls will be left in peace. Better take a woman with you just to make sure you don't attract too much interest. Anyway, so the key point about what I was saying as we stare out into this big blue is, if we get the next cod squeeze, which will be a repeat squeeze, and you've squeezed throughout the summer period, you will have a second half to end all second halves. You will get a super long, and the last time you got that was at 9,000, where you ran to 64,000. That's about 7.5x. 7.5x was what you did in first half. Now the blow off comes in the second half, near the end, and it will drug your brain to stay in, to forget to close. You will be endorphined out, he says, pointing at you. Yes, you will be endorphined out, and you will forget to take off. And I'm going to be here reminding you, particularly my premium community guys, grab the website below. See, he's including some work in all of this as well. You can work out, you can say hi to everybody, you can tell them your views, you can tell them where they can come and join your community. Yeah, it's killing 4 birds with 1 stone. And I get a bit of sea air in the mix. Yeah, we will be reminding our community, particularly on a day-to-day basis, when the time is up to start backing off. And you will be early, and you will be early in parts. We won't take 100% off straight away when that day comes, but that will save you the next 60 or 70% sell-off, and then you're in the pound seat for when you get back in at the lows and everybody else's butt hurts, and you're like the guy who doesn't have to go to school anymore, is a millionaire, and it's playtime every fucking day for you, and everyone else is going off to school, going off to work, and you're like, hey, where's everyone? I want to play. That's how it felt trading on Bitfinex after the collapse from 6k to 3k. There was just no liquidity. You felt like a whale all the time, even on small stuff, shifting 1 Bitcoin, half a Bitcoin, like drip feeding in tiny pieces. You can be that guy. It's quite lonely out there, by the way, but if you've got a couple of mates that have played it well like you'll be doing great. So that's it, guys. I'm in the bull camp. I've been in the bull camp for the last 3 weeks, even in the darkest hours. We got called a flip-flop when we warned that there was a symmetrical squeeze. It did break to the downside. The failure to follow through, we reverted back bull, and we've stayed there since. And I think the news is slowly coming through to us. And by the way, those guys that say it ain't inflation, it's all going to be deflation and all of that, I'm sorry. They're destroying money at an epic rate, at such a rate. There is only one outcome. And you say, but all the inflationists have been wrong all the time. We've never done trillions before. You've never taken everybody out of the work market before. SMEs crushed. You've never done all of these things.